Good
I
morning.
don't know. How morning. How often do you look at how many pages did we go through? It's just unbelievable to me.
Yeah, I was looking today. Actually, I'm like so curious about what's remaining for the
Same.
Tantra. I feel like we covered
Did
a
you
lot.
glance?
No, I haven't yet.
Ooh, don't. I just did this morning first time. I was like, ooh, juicy. Good stuff is
What?
coming.
You have a desire
No,
to peek ahead? Stop.
you taught me. Stop. I want to do what you do. Damn
Aw,
the mind.
yeah.
Which is why I'm late. So I kind of want to just give myself a little explanation as I
Sure.
try to separate myself from I noticed how much distraction is there when I'm just literally trying to be on time. Literally, I finished 20 minutes
Mm,
before 7. Not a problem. And then I had 20 minutes to brush my teeth, make coffee, and set up. That was not something that I needed 20 minutes for. But
yeah.
I took 25 minutes. And then I wondered why did it take me longer than it should? Because I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, doing active, 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 active. I didn't set up. Let's just set up a bed since I'm here. Oh, I need to
Mm,
hang this sweater properly because I just tossed it yesterday. Ooh, this shoe is right here. I need to place it right back. Right? It's like so much doing. It's insane. Doing, action, 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 action. So it is hard
mm,
when you're starting to become aware of how much acting is occurring in any given moment and how we just become that acting, 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 acting without actually being aware and witnessing that we're actually doing that.
mm.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, and it's shocking to realize from the moment we wake up we're constantly doing from and just nonstop. And even like our attempts at not doing, like, oh, I'm gonna take a nap now or I'm gonna rest. It's still a activity. It's still like a desired state that we're trying to get to and to move into. And I feel that the technique of doing the reflection at night is so helpful because every time I'm like, I did too much today. I gotta slow it down a little bit. Yeah.
Are you doing the technique?
Yeah, I've been doing it every night.
Wow, you like?
I like it. I wouldn't say I'm good at it. I don't, I still haven't done. Usually I can only get to about lunchtime and I can kind of like, and then I start to chunk things like, oh, in that 2 hours, it was this. But the finer details of like how I was moving and things that were said. Yeah. So I'm being patient, but I'm enjoying it.
Mm, yeah, I haven't done it. Of course, I have a lot of excuses for it.
Yeah.
So easy. And then, oh my God, the end of February. Oh my God.
Hmm.
I haven't done it. It's weird. But when I did do that technique of stopping, I would knock out real fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the reversal technique versus the stopping. And I tried to stop myself today over and over again. And I sneezed even 3 times. I was like, oh, I missed the point. I missed the point. I missed the point. And just playing with the points, I guess, is also hard. Just trying
Mm.
to learn how to stop something that you're not planning. You can't
Yeah.
plan. You almost have to, something inside of, I don't know, you have to kind of just come to awareness and stop suddenly. But there's a
Yeah.
lot of opportunities, I think, to do this technique throughout the day in a simple sense too, because these desires do arise all the time. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do
Hmm.
this, or not even the desires for like the intangible desires rather than action, 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 action. Let's just Yeah, yeah, it's hard.
Hmm.
It's hard. This one is hard. It's so simple too.
Yeah. I think it's potentially impossible to do on your own. It kind of feels that way.
Stop.
Yeah, because it's like you bring with it all of the programming about why you should stop, and like you're trying to achieve something from it, and oh, like okay, I stopped. Am I in the goal? But where I was reflecting about times when I've stopped, and I'm like the closest I think I've come to the centering, like the energy moving back in, was when he's talking about you want to you want to beat your children, and I know this is like 1970s, and India is a very different culture, and but of course I have the desire comes up occasionally when the kids are really pushing my buttons. And this last time I was like wow, this is wild how strong this like sensation, this like desire is to just like to to
Do
use my
something.
body to stop, yeah, this behavior or think I can stop it. And I remember going in with it and just being like very, because he says consider it, whatever it is, consider it. And I remember just looking at it like this doesn't feel like me. Like this isn't who I am. So what is, I was very contemplative about it, but it was such a body sensation. It wasn't very heady. So just it was more of a contemplation of the feeling states. And I remember just like feeling so out of body and then feeling very, very centered after.
Mm,
And then there was like there was like quite a lot of emotion that happened along with it too.
mm,
It was like the anger into the sadness, into the grief, into stillness eventually. Yeah.
mm. It's so cool. I really like how he explains the energy that needs to be released. It
Yeah.
comes um, in this flow out explosiveness. I mean, it's alive, right? It actually is very alive in a moment, and it has to do something. It has to be expressed,
Hmm.
expressed. And in that expression, we're caught in that action to do, as if there's this layer of almost like a origination that comes in, and then
Hmm.
it bursts itself into in which we are caught to action upon automatically as we are thought to do or programmed or whatever. And I like that because it gives this deeper layer to contemplate about where the origination of it, right? As if we're all energy. I've heard this many times.
Yeah.
Where everything is energy. It's like, give me more because it doesn't make sense. Give me more. And this is more as if this is more of understanding as I tap, as I allow it to be, meaning as I allow it to occur, so
Hmm.
I can feel something before I catch myself on it. And I will tell you, mine, because it wants to express itself from the center out, it wants to move as if it wants to just move itself, right? And when we catch it to action upon it, it expresses itself outward rather than actually coming back into the center of it. And how I feel it when the stop happens, and I can't do that often. I'm kind of testing myself even throughout
Yeah.
this morning and now. It it it's it feels like a powderish slowing fall back. It's like it
Hmm. Hmm.
releases this tension as the edge that wants to express itself, and then it just disappears and falls back down. But it does have a sensation of falling back down, which he explains falling back into the center of origination so you can feel it. It's It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
I'm I'm reading the Way of the Golden Flower still, which is Gnostic esoteric. And he keeps showing how the body and the mind are fragmented, like split personalities essentially, and how when someone is lost, or as most people go about their days, they exist in this fragmented state, and we have our essence, which is divine and pure, and our essence is usually with located in our center, but sometimes we become so fragmented. And specifically in this book, he's dealing with people who are have really lost their way, and he's just like so curious, so he goes and investigates, and they're so fragmented that he can't even find their essence anymore because it's split
Mm.
among 100 people or 1,000 people.
Mm.
Like, Legion, when uh Jesus talked about expelling the demons from, I think it was Lazarus, into the pigs, and
Mm.
it said, "I am Legion." It's just like it shows up as like a demonic force or whatever. It's really just like the ego tripping out, really, is what's happening.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
So the sensation of falling, it's like we're so split with our attention and with our activity. We have all of these eyes participating in the world, and then really with the falling is just like this returning back to one, to the essence, to the center. Um, yeah, and I'm wildly curious and of course jealous about a meditative class of chaotic movement of 500 people, and then someone like a master commanding the stop in
Stop.
that setting. It'd be so powerful because you have the energy of the collective moving it to like such a great degree, and you're really expelling all of this energy and then to bring it back in. um but Osho has this meditation. It's about an hour long, and it's very, very similar. It's like really intense activity. It's only like 25 minutes, but when I tried it, I was struggling because it's like hands over your head, and you're jumping, and then you're doing chaotic movement, and then you're doing some other thing, very intense. And then there's just like this like cut in the music, and that's intended to stop wherever you're at for 10 minutes. And it's interesting too. He says even stop your breathing. Like if you're I forget the activity. I don't know if he was talking about smoking at that point. It's like even stop your breathing. And he's not saying like don't breathe. He's just saying be considerate of the whole vessel, like your whole being, and then stop with stop with the attention and see what occurs. Um
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
it's really, really
Remind
interesting.
Reminded me of when you can hear yourself breathe, your mind is very active. When you can't hear yourself breathe, actually, because I'm now noticing how, stop your breathing. It's like I'm totally in my mind listening to what you're saying, and I can hear my nose whistling at the same time while I'm breathing. I can clearly hear I'm breathing. I'm so here. And but really cool. I actually thought about you in a dance class, and I wondered, can you do this when you cause yourself to stop and just drop? Or
Yeah.
while you're swirling, if you're swirling, or just like very much
Hmm.
test it again and again and again.
Yeah, I appreciate the distinction of getting yourself comfortable to stop. And that's what occurs at the dance. It's like, all right, I'm gonna settle myself down, get cozy, and make sure
Yeah.
my shoulder blades are in place. And I think what I'm gonna try is just finding a moment to just freeze and like, you know, prepare. It's where I say this might be impossible is because like you do this unconscious preparation.
Hmm.
And so it's like I know it's happening and then I'm like, oh, I stopped, right? Okay, I'm centered, right? It's too much prepped and planned and egoistic in that way too. So
Totally.
yeah.
Even in reading, it's like, I want to stop now, 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 now. It's all planning, but it does help if you do it when the desire arises. That's why if I really want to sneeze,
Yeah.
it's an opportunity that you can miss, but the opportunity will keep coming back to you. Or if you want to, um, the same thing. It's like I really wanted to set the bed properly because the pillow was wrong. And then I had this book here that I wanted to put on a back, book. It's like all these are tiny little glimpses of desires that are opportunities to just not do it, quit it.
Mm-hmm.
And, it makes me wonder, oh my God, how much this to me is new, right? Because, of course, we are using our minds to think our life through, to think through our life, to live our life through thinking. And, you know, how much of our life, and I really like how he calls it out. It's like we are so fake, fake, fake,
Mm-hmm.
because we're all thinking our life through everything we're doing. We're thinking, 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 planning. Even fear is planned. It's like, oh, if this happens, then I'm right. So, how much of an influence we have on us, ourselves, by our mind. It's so, it is, your friend and your enemy at the same time. It's like you're
Mm.
battling yourself all your life. You're literally living with something that you are against all the time, even in sleep. And he goes, even when you go to bed and you're dreaming, it's still you're active. You can't go back and center. And it makes me wonder a lot, but how did we get here, right? So, and of course, I'm trying to find the reasoning for it. It just is, I get the gist, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, wow, we actually evolved to a point when we are completely false, fake. We are not pure, right? Because he goes, the man used to be pure, innocent, authentic, and it's no more because of this. And it's mind boggling. Like,
As it should be.
yeah, wow. So
Yeah.
much programming. And, so of course I pull out, and the constellation of Pisces for 2 millennia was very much logic, 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 logic. And now in Aquarius era, it's like, what will that be? We don't know. We won't know. Right. But the fact
It'll
that
be
I
new.
live with my own enemy all 24/7 is interesting. On enemy in a sense of I can't really be alone on my own and be me in this body.
Mm. So what does authenticity mean to you? And how would you place yourself against it or with it?
I think that, oh, so how I experience the only thing that I know how to experience that it's authentic and pure without my programmed ex programmed altering is these desires that come in to express themselves through creative impulses, right? So these impulses that come um, in which I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not aware of what I'm writing. I don't actually really care if it's true or not. I don't even care, is it accurate, false? Is it sensical, grammarly corrected? It's the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing is gone. I am just feeling, feeling, feeling. And this creative desire, spontaneity, something spontaneously arises in which I don't question it. And I know I learned to not stop it. I am learning how to allow it to occur so that way it can show me something different. And I have this relating with it that it's total surrender to it. So I feel obsessed by it and possessed by the force that it's occurring. And then it stops. So that to me is authentic to
Hmm.
it, to not my mind. Because I'm not really trying to identify it. And it comes when it wants and it leaves when it wants. And it's here and it's really disturbing me sometimes a lot, distracting me, leading me, playing with me, teasing me. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's here for a week, sometimes it's gone. And I think it's that creative, how they say it in a creative writing. It's like the block. It's not really the block, it's just the pause. It's not here. Like
Mm.
it's just not coming because you're put maybe because you're closed off, maybe because I put a lot of pressure to do it. Like I have a due date for it. Whenever I have a due date, I can't. It's like everything about me stops, including the authentic arousal. So authentic is more pure, not mine,
Hmm.
not something that I can call mine. And there's this one poem, I don't know if I read it to you, Rumi's poem, and one sentence calls this love, I'm afraid to call, love is not, I'm afraid to call it human and afraid of God to call it divine. It's like, it's not even mine. You don't want to do anything with it. You don't want to own it. It's like that big that you want to just surrender to it and like give up of it right up front. I don't know. It's so good and also very contagious and very addictive.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So does it spread? Can authenticity spread? You said it's contagious.
Oh, contagious meaning, yes, I want more of it. I think there's a momentum that occurs. And it's often when I have to do so much more things. When my list of to-dos grows and I'm
Mm.
threatened by it because I have to go, I'm late, somebody's looking, knocking, and everybody is waiting for me. The more the list grows, the danger becomes bigger, the more actually it opens up, the more it wants me to stay in it. That's why
Hmm.
I think it's like contagiously spreading me in to take on bigger space, which means bigger time, which means larger time,
Hmm.
which means stay here now because something is occurring.
Could it be, do you ever imagine a future where it's so contagious that it spreads into the to-do list? Like what would it look like for authenticity to arrive in the mundane? Like how to like what's separating, like what causes us to become inauthentic in in that like state of mind or state of being.
I have tos. I have tos and to dos.
Hmm.
The moment you have to see, the moment I have to come and show up at 7 is the moment I don't want to come at 7.
Yeah.
The moment they announced 4 day in office work was the moment I stopped going 5 days because I went 5 days when it was
Yeah.
only 3 days. Right? Something with that to doing, must do's, have to's, stops the natural organic flow.
Mm.
And I'm thinking in life, what do really I have to do all the time? What do I have to do all the time?
Hmm. Eat, maybe.
Even that, half of the time I'm eating because
Yeah.
clockwise emotions.
Yeah.
Really, am I really hungry? Last night I made sushi and I'm like, I'm so not hungry. Why am I eating? This is huge. And I made it for two, portion for two, and I ate it all. And now I'm 5 pounds heavier. And I'm like, I can't. I was like, do I really have to? I don't. And why am I doing this?
Mm.
How do you
So,
experience it then? Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I'll play because I was just playing questions, and if you have questions, I'll play with you.
I
So,
love your questions.
yeah, this, um, perhaps unintentionally, I don't know if you can tell, but this is like right on track with when Osho says live dangerously. I think dangerous and authenticity are the same, and I think that the label of danger is a societal one, or it comes from the place of I have to, or I can't let go. I can't be authentic because the world would fall apart. My world would fall apart. So I'm leaning in. I'm deeply uh, interested in this. And your question is, how do I experience authenticity? Mm,
Or danger.
yeah, I'm still learning. I'm still exploring what that means for me. But I'm noticing when I go quiet is when I'm trying to follow the rules or trying to fit in. And it's for me, it's like what I was, what my programming is around, being nice, not saying the full truth,
Mm. Mm.
showing up on time, holding your commitments, um, calling people on their birthday, even though you could care less. um, it's interesting. Yeah, it's so nuanced and so particular to this to the state of where I am and where the world is and how things are going. I mean, you touched on the word flow, and I think it gets thrown around a little bit, but it's essentially like if we're talking about flow state, it's like this feeling of uh, being carried by something and also touching something authentic within you and having great capacity for whether it's work or creativity or even just play. And I think that's uh, similar to a flow state, and it's closer to authenticity, and it can be dangerous. It's not always dangerous. Um, so I think the question is like, what is dangerous for you, and when we are inauthentic, what are we giving up? Like, what are we trading? So it's like the trade I make is um, I don't want to be seen as someone who's a party pooper. So I'm going to show up and, you
Be
know,
happy.
yeah, I'm going to be at the party. And it's like, of course I have times when I don't want to be. And then too, yeah, I'm reflecting because yesterday was like a very I have to day. So I had the three boys and I had to get registration, oil change, and a safety check on the car. And it was like kind of chaotic because it was raining and we had to walk. Cole was sick, so he was throwing up. And I went to do the oil change, and he's like, okay, I need the registration to do the safety check. And I was like, I never got the registration in the mail. I know I paid for it. He's like, well, you have to go to the Secretary of State anyway. So I went over there and I'm sitting there, and the two older boys they're just playing, but like in society, it's like most kids are in school, right? Because it's 10:30 in the morning on a Tuesday. And so everyone that's there is kind of like, why are these kids in public? And on top of that, they're kind of like play fighting with each other. messing with the automatic doors and kind of getting in the way for people. And I'm catching myself in between this, like, come over here, like, sit down. And then also, like, you're fine, you're just playing. And I'm noticing how I'm slipping into something that doesn't feel good to me, which is like, we have to follow the rules. Like, you need to listen to me. If you're not going to, and then start to do punishment and all, like the carrot and the stick. And I'm like, oh, I hate this. Like, I really don't feel, um, I just don't feel good when I have to do
Mm.
that. It's a have to. And specifically around my kids, the have tos show up very strongly for me because of my own childhood and the things that I don't want to carry down the line. So there's like this little balance I held, but I had this moment of emotional crisis where I'm sitting there and Koa was so heavy because he's just like really sick. He's like feverish. And I'm kind of panicking because I'm like, I don't know if they're going to let me do this. I might have to, like, are they going to be mad because I didn't have it registered? And just my head just starts spinning with all these things. It was a very rainy, like very oppressive, cloudy feeling kind of day. I remember looking out and sitting there and I was like, Eric, you have flip-flops on. You have sandals on. And I was like, Eric, you're in Hawaii. And I was like, Eric, look at the trees. Look how green it is.
Mm.
And then I was like, you're with your kids. You're with your boys. And you're doing something great. And Carly's at home. And it was just like, it was almost like I was unpacking
Domino.
the, yeah, it was like considering where I'm at, considering deeper, like what's actually happening. I was so focused on a sticker on the back of the car and letting it determine my day, like how my day is gonna go. And so to me, it's like I found authenticity in considering from a deeper level, who am I? Where am I at? What's really happening? And two, I think there's the key distinction of like, oh, the boys are getting in the way and they're fighting and they're gonna cause a disturbance and I'm gonna get in trouble as a dad. And instead there's this like subtle shift of um they're playing, everyone else is asleep. And if they happen to wake someone up because they run into somebody or they say something ridiculous and somebody smiles and laughs and and make eye contact and it makes their day. I'm like, this is the point. And if I have to take these little moments where someone gets upset and
Mm.
it's like, okay, like you're upset. That's not, I don't have to take that, right? That could just be yours. And you might have an idea of how I'm supposed to parent. Again, that can
Mm.
be yours. I have my own way of doing this. And also, it's like this deep acceptance too of like, I can't be perfect. And I think that comes along with it inauthentic. The trap of being inauthentic is like, like, this requires me to be perfect. And
Mm.
I think if we let go of that, like, maybe I'm late. Maybe I won't be on time for the appointment. Maybe I won't say the right thing at the meeting. Maybe this person will say no and I want them to say yes. And then this process of letting go. And on the other side, it's like, this is what I find. On the other side of all of that shit is life showing up perfectly underneath me. And then it's just a matter of the authenticity is kind of like how how easily can I tap into that stream, to that flow? How easily can I realize that I'm on the river? And do I need to be paddling upstream or can I go down the river? Yeah. So, yeah.
I love it. But you also said you're also you learned how to become aware of what is occurring in that moment of pressure. There's this like that pressuring point. when you have to, and then suddenly everything is just collapsing in this world.
Hmm.
And when nothing works in this world, there's nowhere else to go, then something occurs to realize this click, click, one drop of a moment is when you're like, the sky is blue, the trees are green. It's simple. I'm wearing flip-flops. Come back into the body. Underneath it, oh, okay, I'm here. I I am here. I can do it. And this small um click, switch, something switches when the reality as we know it is no longer real.
Yeah.
And that switch brings right back to you everything that you are. And you can see from different glasses, different lens, a world that it's not that frightening anymore.
Hmm.
And it's so magical that we have these layers that become one and then they separate us. Layers of us where you can be a witness, an experiencer, and experience the kiss, the kisser, the love, the lover, loving, all these different layers of multi multi you. It's like it
Hmm.
reminds me always on that Matrix scene when the bullet comes towards the Neo and then he just splits in minis
Yeah.
and then becomes one zoop.
Hmm.
And it's so cool because, but you see, something inside of you brought you back to you
Hmm.
in a simple words. When you pressure cooked yourself so much with to-do list and mind just came to absorb everything, all your energy and suck you dry,
Yeah.
something inside of you clicked you, switched you. That to me is so cool because you can do it, right?
Hmm.
How how often do we get switched off from this world into our own world? This is all internal, right? So it all happens inside, but behind the eyes. That switch, that practice of again and again and again and start again, start again, start again. Um, like a parrot, like literally learning. And I love how he also mentioned it's like if the child is not taught the language, he will still have its own desires, even if he doesn't know how to speak, to express them.
Hmm.
The desire lives inside, the arousals, which is this energy that it's coming in and expressing itself. And it totally makes sense that we are everything. Really, like from this perspective now, it's like, oh, I get it now that I can the energy is just my body, right? So I am that frequency.
Hmm.
But what makes you switch? That
Yeah.
little, no.
Yeah. And I think this ties right back into danger,
Hmm,
living
hmm.
dangerously, right? Some fear that we have.
Mm.
So we have the opportunity then to say, what scares me in this moment? And then how can I step closer? Step, or just consider the fear itself. It's like maybe that's all that's needed. It's just a deep realization of our state of fear. And then perhaps it passes and no, no truly dangerous action is needed. Because when OSHO says like live dangerously, you think of like the stunt people or parkour people who are jumping off of buildings, or it's like,
That's what I thought you thought. So you're gonna
oh
go
yeah,
and
no, no, no,
race
no,
200 miles an hour.
no, because
Yeah.
I've had moments in my life, and I've been on a motorcycle and I felt this feeling of like what he talks about, just where you're you're on a very fine line of life and death, and you you no longer have control. Like the control is you're riding that space of illusion, and it's intoxicating. But to me, that's a That's a danger that I don't know. What am I trying to say? It seems immature, childish, because in that state, I'm not only putting myself in danger, I'm also endangering those that depend on me. It's just reckless. I think recklessness isn't what he meant by danger in that sense. I think it's more
Yeah,
of
good.
um, someone asks you how you're doing, and instead of saying good, you just pause and consider. And it's dangerous to pause because people are uncomfortable with it. It's like, it's like the subtle danger that you might not fit in if you were authentic. It's like, okay, let's do that.
Total backlash.
Yeah.
Only by being silent. Oof, you're getting this like bam domino effect of all preconceived and programmed assumptions. But I wanted to touch base on something it opened up as you were talking. So, s- being safe is not allowing you to be dangerous, to touch the danger, meaning when in life we want to just be safe, right? We want consistency. We
Hmm.
want to know. We want to be predictable. We want predictable future, predictable tomorrow. We want to know what is occurring. It's entire time we're living in this bubble of safety, which is very much the safety in the mind, which does not allow you to loosen up to your organic allowance, organic, expressive spontaneity in life. So, how we always say, again, everything becomes just so trendy because people just like goats. They want to follow like the herd. It's very herdy. The mentality is so herdy. It's like everybody wants to do everything that everybody else is doing. It's like, why would you want to do that? I don't get it. Like something inside of you, that compass has to arise to say, absolutely not. Why would I want to smoke and drink? Because everybody is smoking and drinking, right? But that switch is way more than what I know and what I feel. Compass, I talked about our ethical ethics of spirit, and so for some reason it's just very present in my contemplation. Something inside of you is speaking, not now, not this. Wait a minute.
Hmm.
Something
Hmm.
knocks, knocks, very subtle, very subtle. Because if I am just sitting here making sure I'm safe in life, I'm frightening myself. What happens? I'm also getting the opportunities to constantly face what I'm trying to do in life. It's like the fact of the matter is that tomorrow might not be. And we're so frightened to accept that tomorrow might not be. What can
Hmm.
is the frightening moment of being frightened, the opportunity for me to come and face me? How do I feel? What is this actually, this dance? So, feeling safe in life, aiming to be safe in life is really not even allowing you to get towards what your potential can be. Has nothing to do. You can't
Yeah.
even, your mind is not even getting trained to tease this edges of like spontaneity, this like dangerous, such a
Hmm.
even words that freaks out everybody. And even if I say the time is running out, it's frightening to some people and it's exciting to some. It's like it's
Hmm.
all about what we know of the word. And in this sense, what we know the safe life is really turns out
It's
to
false.
not be at all. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's very false. And I think that it's actually suppression. And so,
Yes.
we're even talking about approaching authenticity and danger as like an active choice. But the reality is it's really a letting go. Like there's not much that's happening. We're letting go into the fear. We're letting go into the what might happen, the unknown, and everyone else is attaching to, if I do this, then this outcome, or this will create safety for me, or this will, but it's just suppression. It's suppressing of the unknown. It's suppressing of the fear and the danger. And that will lead to activities of herd mentality because you're fitting in and you've suppressed so much. And so it feels like release to do something that is dangerous when in reality it's um it's just false. It's just you're just a bunch of people who are lying to themselves about what they really want, what they really need, and who they really are. And there's an unpacking that happens as you step into, like, call it awakening, is maybe you do get on a motorcycle initially to get the sensation or to get the feeling or to like the rebounding out of suppression. But over time, you understand the nuance of it and how subtle it can be and what's really arising for you. It's not a midlife crisis. It's actually, oh, I've suppressed all of this shit and I need something to open it up. And for some people, it's going to be extreme in the beginning because you have you've packed it down so much. You have this big outpouring of energy, right? So it's interesting, and I don't know.
Mm.
I have this very strong desire to experience more authenticity in people, in my friend group, um, in the broader society, in the public discourse. And I think I see glimpses of it, but then it's like we, I see a moment and then it goes back to
Hmm.
just shadow. Um, and ultimately, the only thing that I can do is I can't force anyone else to do anything, and I can only just approach it and become more comfortable with authenticity myself. Um, and so, yeah,
Mm.
I'm grateful for these techniques. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be authentic with you and to find what's true for me. Because it's like, we look back at when we started and we say, we kind of look back and we're like, what were,
So good.
look how we
So,
were. It's so cute.
yeah, I was just about to say, so young.
Yeah. And I think it's just, it develops and unfolds, and we find in the many layers, we find our own false selves and we place them, we put them
Mm.
where they need to go. We return back to the center. And of course, I always go back to Osho saying, my whole job is to confuse you and
Mm.
for the mind. Yeah.
But let me ask you, how do you know you're not with someone's authentic parts? You said I have this desire to
Yeah.
experience someone, others, in their authentic self. I want authenticity. How do you know you're not getting it?
That's a really good question. Yeah. Thank you for that question. It seems that I can only make an assumption. I can never know. I can only guess. Or I guess there's an intuition about it, like where I might just be feeling into a frequency. But again, there's an assumption where I'm bridging and it goes back to like what can I reflect or what's reflecting back to me. And so what I think is if I'm authentic with them, if I'm authentic with someone who I think is being inauthentic, then it will show up uncomfortably, like either between us or they'll be uncomfortable. And that's my thought about it. But I do notice commentary. So yeah, I'm kind of going all over the place. I'll just say, thank you for the question. I'm noticing that I'm maybe assuming and then projecting out. And that projecting out is actually me leaving my center so I can come back. On the other side, I'll say, I do notice people will comment. I heard this from a friend, like um, she was trying to not make her child feel bad about not being able to go to something. So she uses this technique where she goes, "Well, you guys aren't going to go to that, right?" And she's lying so that he doesn't feel bad. And both Carly and I did the same thing separately, like different days, where she did this, and I'm like, "Oh no, we're going," and she's like, "But you wouldn't even have like you wouldn't even need to go. Like, it's not even gonna be that fun, right?" And I'm like, "No, it's gonna be a blast." And she's like, "Eric," she's like, can't you can't lie, can you?" I'm like, "Oh, we're trying. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. No, we're not gonna go to the thing." Um, that's the closest thing I can think of like authenticity, but inauthenticity. But again, like you said, she's being authentic about the way she's choosing to parent or how she's choosing to speak. And it's like, what nuance is there between what does it mean to be authentic? Does it actually mean to speak truth 100% of the time? Yeah.
Mm. Authentic as you were programmed to be authentic.
Right.
And the reason why I'm asking, because it's like it is, and it's you see, it's like it's easy for a someone else to tell you to stop. It's easy for someone
Hmm.
else to point out something, then you would then open up and start contemplating because what you think is true is not. That's where I think we need each other to point out these things, right? And then allow this curiosity to open you up to a different way of thinking. Because I'm thinking as you're speaking, wait, but how do I really know that you're not authentic? And as you're thinking, I was like, as you're speaking, I was like, I am opening myself up. I am actively participating into finding my center as you speak. And you can't see me because you're in your head speaking about your experience, but I'm here being authentic. I think I'm authentic in a moments of these glimpses that occur, which are so subtle that the one cannot notice the other, outside of self. You can't notice one. I can. I don't know if you're authentic or not, but what I do know is when you're fake. And I can see your fakeness because I don't have that part in me. Fakeness. And I'm just gonna, okay, not a whole plethora of options to choose from to be fake. Meaning, when you really are trying really hard, you're sweating to be something else that you're truly not. You're actually putting a lot of energy and effort to suck yourself dry. And with sucking you, you are sucking me. And I am so exhausted. Like this happens
Mm.
all the time in conversations that are surface based. I'll give you the example. Yesterday at work, there was a colleague. She's a little bit younger than me. I'm like an ancient grandma at work, literally. And no one thinks that I'm old as I am old. I can't even tell them just because I have gray hair. And I'm actually making it obvious with the gray hair, which is even ironic. Just see my hair.
Yeah.
It's close to real, really, if I'm not dying it. But and then I said, it's so cool because you guys should, the synastry in charge should be a requirement prior to marriage. I just
Hmm.
made a sentence. And she's like, I know, I've been really curious about it. And me and my fiance are thinking about doing it. And then I'm thinking, and then I said something I shouldn't have because it was a threat for her. And I said, you know, if you give me your chart and I looked at your chart, I would decode you immediately. It's very dangerous for me to know who you are. And she goes, oh, yeah, I will never give you my chart. Total frightening. There was a moment when she totally just closed off because she was afraid to be seen. And
Yeah.
it's not like I would never know who she is, actually. Never, ever,
Yeah.
ever, ever. Even chart won't show me because I will interpret everything as I thought, as I gave interpretation of someone else's teaching. It's like a total domino effect of really also being not true.
Hmm.
So being interpretationally false in a sense. Everything I'm trying to process through my mind as the teaching or knowledge is by default not true. Way
Hmm.
to confuse oneself, right? But it was interesting is that I just said it and I really said it in the goodness of my heart. And I really said, don't give me your chart because I will change the way I talk to you and I partner
Yeah.
with you at work and I will change everything. I will see you, your communication style, what you love, how you like, where is your energy. I would have the total assumption of who you are and my connection to you will change to better. Goodness
Yeah.
of the heart. And then I told her, don't give me your chart. I don't want to look into it. Um,
Well, maybe did you intuit that she doesn't want to be seen? Because I feel like some people are
she's
like, please.
Aquarius.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She
Yep.
never wants to be seen. She wants to be a
Yep.
unique self. But I only assumed that about her son. Her birthday was just recent. So
Yeah.
yeah, she didn't even show up for her birthday. She couldn't even. And then I said, "Oh, you don't take compliments very well, huh?" And she goes, "Mm-mm." I was like, "Okay, girl, same." So I
Yeah.
got you. You're not alone. Heard. Now
Hmm.
we bonded over something that is so common because, oh my God, that is it wrong to take the compliment? See?
Hmm.
But that exchange was 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. And in that exchange, there were so many opportunities. Now I know when it's no longer here, rather than when I identify with trying to make a connection, professional connection with someone, which is totally fake. But what I'm trying to say is like, I really never know who is authentic or not. All I do is just experience myself through something that is occurring within me. And
Yeah.
I think I'm my own judge, really, and I'm my own supreme God that will judge me, my actions, my intentions, my attention. I'm facing me,
Hmm.
like, and who is judging inside? Who is, what part of me is judging? And what part of me is accepting? And am I in this, stuck in this like play of good and evil inside, or knowns and unknowns, conscious, unconscious, shadows and lights, and all these things? Or am I actually aware? Can I be aware? And all that to say is like, as we press our minds, is pressing us. Remember Jinkies and that the video that I just sent yesterday or the other day? It does make sense to be having less and less opportunity, being aware of gaps, less and less. These gaps of awareness that occur inside of you. It's not like you're for a good 5 minute period of time, unless you practice and have the devotional practice to it, unless you're like, these gaps just occur as a little mini. I always think if you press your eyes on the periphery, your eye is going to start flickering. These flickers, that's how I understand these gaps of awareness that you can enter into and open yourself up to your truth, which is your organic self, authentic self.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I just said a bunch of things. Wow. Do we fly?
That's so good.
Hmm.
So, when's the last time you felt inauthentic?
All the time. At work, I feel inauthentic all the time. But this is inside of me, I'm silent. I'm silent for the outer world because I have a role to play. And this role that I'm into is totally, it's almost like it's almost like pausing. The only time I feel myself is when I am in my solitude and I can meet me. And this practice occurs over and over again. When I am outside connecting with the world, which is the fake world, I am something inside of me meets them right there. So total authenticity. Tell me the truth. What is your truth? Can you face your truth? I can't. I I'm challenged to face my own truth in front of someone who is not truthful, who I don't feel I can meet. Right. So I'm always looking to see my part of me, big part of me, is looking to enter into the deeper be. be below the mind. I don't even talk about beyond. I'm talking below the mind. Can I
Mm.
enter into it? And can we slowly um, thread slowly into the vulnerability together?
And it sounds like it sounds like safety is a big need, and
Oh,
maybe
totally.
that's yeah.
But
So what
safety for
is
what? Emotions, the thoughts. You don't care if you say something that it's wrong and tomorrow you say you were wrong. That's not the safety you're looking for. I'm looking for opening myself up into someone who can and
mm-hmm.
actually has a I, this is where that intuition you're talking about in sense, I can sense when someone has ill intent. I can
Yeah,
sense the competition. I don't compete with my heart. It's either,
yeah,
it's almost like you choose who you want to share it with. Right?
yeah, yeah. Um, so a little bit of tangent, but maybe
Yes.
maybe things come up and I feel they're relevant because they come up. So I'm treating this H. pylori that I have, which is like gut bacteria, whatever. And the first couple days of taking, it's just called mastica. It's just an herb. I was like, Carly, I'm like, what? Like, is there a possibility that things would get worse before they get better when I'm taking this? And she's like, maybe. And then we looked it up together, and she's like, oh yeah, because it's like toxins that are attached to my stomach lining, and they're essentially shedding. It's like being released, and so it's releasing into my body, and I'm having a lot more moments of like pseudo emotional crisis, and I'm also having like psychological revelations, and then also like some trauma unpacking. It's very interesting. But
Mm-hmm.
another piece I'm noticing, and this keeps showing up this showed up in my dream last night. And since I've been doing the technique at night, I've noticed that my dreams tend to be much clearer messages, like the gap between that was random to like maybe it meant that it's like smaller. It's like I usually wake up and I'm like, okay, this is telling me something. And my dreams last night were like, why am I competing? Why am I competing? And then I just unpacked. I'm like, oh my God, most of my life I've spent in competition and not outward, boastful, braggadocious, large, like being big and trying to be better, but very silent, subtle, manipulative, kind of Scorpio like competition.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what you do, I'm going to win in my own game, in my own head. And I'm noticing this is a this is a very fragmented ego that's hiding in the shadows, and it's coming out as I'm doing this H. pylori treatment. It's coming out in me, and I'm noticing like Sunday at the dance, this feeling of subtle competition of like, how am I standing out, or am I keeping up, or am I doing more than everybody, or am I having the most fun? And I'm like, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not my normal experience. It's not like my normal experience lately at the dance has been just, just joy and movement and feeling. Um, so I'm like, okay, I mean, I can ascribe it to the H. pylori thing, but ultimately it's a psychological event that's happening and I have to face it. I have to um, just take what I'm being given. And again, it's like letting go, right? It's like, and it doesn't feel very safe. It's not really occurring in safe moments. It's not after I slow down. It's not when I have silence or when I'm alone. It's like when I'm in public and when I have all my kids and when someone's talking to me and I'll just have these moments.
Mm-hmm.
So all it to say, I've been getting the message alongside it, the Osho talking about how it's dangerous, and then with this book I'm reading, and I remember when I got into reading about Gnosticism, there's a very clear like, not everyone will sustain, not everyone can do this, not everyone's up for what this takes. The unpacking of the fragmentation of the self and returning to the center is a very trying. It's because it's exposure therapy essentially. It's like, oh, you're afraid of spiders. Okay, we're gonna put a spider on the other side of the room. Okay, the next day, all right, we're gonna put a spider in a cage and next to you, and then the next day, now we're gonna open the cage, and then the next day, and then soon you having the spider crawling on your head. You develop exposure to it, and then the fear subsides because the fear is irrational to the level of threat that's present. So yeah, and I said
Mm.
a lot there, and yeah, I don't know if it
Oh, I'm following.
brought
And
brought something up for you, or yeah.
I want to go back to what you said that you think it's your gut presence of something inside your body that is causing you to be more aware of how your mind is acting out on a dance floor. It's how I put the thoughts together. And you said, I wasn't like this before. Right. I'm enjoying the dance, but I'm now aware more that I am having a voice inside that says, look good, do it the best, compete, compete, compete. It sounds like you just split yourself in two, right? So this awareness, and this is where it reminded me of Vipassana, how I had this sense of something of me coming closer to me to become me, which is real because it was elsewhere. Every time I would meditate, I would see myself far away from me rather than actually meditating from the center out. I was there, my center was
Mm,
there. So something inside came in until it was. And then I think it was day 4 or 6 when I then was able to drop into the actual technique of coming inside and feeling, using sensations to enter into the body. But you see, what you said is like this awareness now splits the mind and you, huh, to two. You're no longer identifying. And now you're witnessing what is occurring in the mind. And you're actually witnessing this thing going on rampant, right? So going and having to do's and having everything. And to come back to the danger is that mind, it sounds like there's just this box of capacity that mind has. When you push the mind beyond the mind, it stops. There's nothing more than mind can do. It literally just disappears. It's like it stops, but it has its limit. The point I'm trying to get to is that the mind has its limit, it has the end. And the danger, which is the end potential threat of ending the mind,
mm,
opens up to that gap of entering into the self, entering into
mm,
the source of being, source, the pearl.
mm,
And it's so interesting. So look how many layers.
yeah.
And I'm not saying this is the step 1 to 10, but it's noticing it's like when you become aware, everything just now becomes, I'm so confused by why am I doing this? Look how crazy I am in my mind. Right. I am. My mind is mine. It's no one else's mind. It's mine, me and me facing. But now I'm becoming aware and I'm able to pull myself out of identification with it so I can see what is occurring. The same thing. And my reaction from this point of awareness to that which I'm doing and I'm told to do by the voice, it's like now this reaction is where I can make a choice to figure out do I want to do it or not?
Mhm,
Right? Look how many layers there are for us
mm,
to unravel, peel off. And can I just touch base on something biologically related? When I was little, I have
mhm,
E. coli, and I had no idea I had it, right? So I picked it up somewhere I ate the dirt, I guess. The
Yeah.
popcorns from the ground or whatever. But yeah, I had two gut problems. One was E. coli, and the other ones were, I think I had worms. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know, like something that wasn't supposed to be there. And you know what solved it? No pill solved it. No, you know what? Garlic in water
Right. Hmm.
overnight. And I
Hmm.
died drinking this for 7 days and it was washed clean. It's
Hmm.
worth trying. There's something in that nasty little thing, which is so good, but actually put the garlic clove in the water overnight, close it. It's just one little shot of water, cup for coffee, small cup for coffee, and knock it. You would die
Hmm.
drinking in this. You would die. Your mind will stop. This is your
Yeah.
opportunity if you want to send. I love it. I'm true. And you're gonna
Yeah.
rig. Friend, don't even make public appearance with it. But yes, this is what killed it.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah. This
Empty stomach. On empty stomach.
I might, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
I yeah. Carly says this Mastica herb is very, very strong. She's like, it's very, very intense. And I'm taking like two before every meal. And it's specific to H. pylori. It's like removes it. But yeah, I mean, garlic and onions I've trusted for many, many things, especially for parasites. Yeah, they hate
Yeah.
garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do that because I have 2 months of this, and then after that I have to treat for parasites. And maybe I'll that's what I'll do, the garlic concoction.
2 months later.
Mm-hmm.
See, why not now?
Because
It will kill everything, including the herbs. He
yeah,
kills everything. So good.
kills all my social connections.
Totally kills your life.
The
Mm.
a, a week or so ago, I made meatloaf, and I put probably 30 garlic cloves in like this pan of meatloaf, and I ended up eating like half of it in 24 hours. And Carly was like, she's like, did you like what happened? You She's like, couldn't kiss me. She couldn't even be near me. I'm like, yeah, I had a lot of garlic. Yeah.
So good. I eat it on Friday nights.
Specifically Friday nights.
No, because I don't have to go to work. And
Oh, yeah.
in the morning, I just, weekends are mine, my spa days. Spa means mental washing. No,
Hmm.
no people, if possible. But yeah, I love it. And it does the wonders. That's why in the folklore tradition, it says it repels the demons.
Yeah. Hmm. There must be like Korean or Japanese spas in LA.
Mm,
Yeah.
good spas. Which I would take you if you decide ever to visit
I
LA.
know.
You have entire lifetime. Wait until you're perfectly happy, healthy. Later, later.
When I'm 70, I'll come.
Yeah. But no pressure. No pressure.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
gonna
a,
be mm,
go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say the authenticity piece too shows up between me and you because I like you a lot. And you're like, part of my original commitment to go to LA as part of this family trip we're doing to Texas. I was like, oh, it makes sense. Like logically, I was breaking it down. And then it took me a while to realize like I'm just not feeling it this time. Just not feeling like the more things came up, and it was hard to authentically show up and be
Come.
like, yeah, I'm not feeling it right now. So it's it is easier to fit in. It's easier to try to be liked.
Oh,
And Yeah.
It's so easy, right?
Yeah.
And look how fake that is to even think
Yeah.
that if I do what you want me to do, you would like me more. I will be liked more by you. And that
Hmm.
is actually absolutely not true. Oh, here
Hmm.
he is.
He's looking for a cat, I think. Oh, you're getting the charger. Okay. It's being good.
And I entered this debate recently, which I just didn't want to text you about because I really wanted to know your opinion, but I was like, how about I don't? And now it's popping up again, so might as well, right?
Wait.
Should the male pay
Oh, yeah.
a meal on a first date to a woman?
Oh, I've seen this topic come up,
Speaking of
and
authenticity,
yeah, I could care less, honestly. I don't, but so it's like I have to place
lots of them.
myself in the situation and what's, so I've seen, so I'll just say this. I've seen it and I'm like, I don't care. I see commentary about the dating sphere and about should this be happen or like this development, and I'm grateful to not need to worry about any of that stuff. But what I've done historically is I paid.
Of
Um,
course, me too.
yeah,
But what it's happening is that it's becoming transactional because it's
yes,
desiring it's the desire of now that wants some action and reaction to it, and unless I'm getting something for it, I'm not going to pay.
yeah,
Authentic. To me, this is actually authentic if you really think
right,
about it. I'm
right,
not going to
right.
pay if I don't feel like I'm going to get tonight. And it's so offensive to women. It's like, absolutely not. Because, of course, there is the programming that comes in and kicks in and says the gentleman should be a
Yeah,
gentleman from 1800s, from 1400s in a modern time when back in the day, a woman didn't make any money. Now she does. And she still,
mm,
expects a man to pay because I don't know, cause. And then I ask why. Where is this concept coming from in the modern times when you equally can pay? And but you see the programming, and then the men in a modern cities like this is actually what's happening in LA as well. The men will be like, "Oh, you just want a free meal. Well, I'll give you the free
yeah,
meal if I get the free something else, right?" So
mm,
it is becoming a total transaction between the two minds that are now having a preconceived, pre-programmed must-dos, must-haves. It's like a resume for hiring
yeah,
for this, whatever that it is. And it's actually the pool is not to come in and feel, rather than the larger pool is to go and think through
mm,
strategically. A first day.
mm,
What strategy do you have if you're about to fall in love? There's no strategy,
mm.
right?
But again,
It's just
maybe it deconstructs the rigid formal. Maybe this is the Aquarian part where it's deconstructing the formalities and the rigidness around how it's supposed to look and what it's supposed to be. Because like this concept of
totally
a date, like what it, I feel
long
like
gone are theaters and movies. Yeah.
people are gonna have a lot of free time. You know,
To date.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and more and more. I mean, even if you look at the average work hours per week, it's gone down. It's trending down over time. Probably depends on the industry. Like for your industry, it's probably gone up, I would imagine. Um, but yeah, it does seem sad, and I think it's like potentially a reaction to like the Tinder, Bumble, the apps that started to make things transactional, and then the loudest voices with the most ridiculous viewpoints get a lot of clicks and attention on social media, and that starts to get proliferated down. So I've seen women who are like publicly revealing like, oh, I didn't pay for a meal. for a full week, or it's like they're revealing, and it's authentic, I guess, but it's also, so the men are responding and saying, well, I'm not gonna be your free ticket for whatever you want. And it's, yeah, to me, I'm sad that it is transactional, because, but it's like, well, if it was that shallow to begin with, then maybe it should die and let something new be created.
Yeah. But the point is also is that you're missing. It's really what makes, why am I automatically judging your action if you really genuinely don't feel like paying someone's meal? Why do we think that's wrong? Is it the first question? It's like, if I don't want to, this has to do with, if I never, I support my mom, but I don't support her because I have to. I actually support her because I genuinely want to. I used to do it because she asked for it, and I used to do it because I had to, but something in me clicked when I no longer have to.
Yeah.
And you know what clicked? Her expectation was zeroed down. Like she had no
Yeah.
expectations that I am there to support her every month because she has her retirement. Right. So it's like you can actually support yourself without me being here. The moment that expectation disappeared, I continued with no effort whatsoever.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's
it's
a,
mhm.
sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I cut you off. But um, there's a subtle piece there too around security. So, she has means, like it's not like the end. And I think young people are struggling financially quite a bit. So I think there's that pressure as well.
Oh, totally. And
Yeah.
also, nothing is guaranteed anymore in the future. It's not tangible, it's not predictive.
Hmm.
See, and that's that safety box now kind of shrinks down to I'm not safe, I'm not safe, I'm not safe, I'm not safe.
Yep. And you start to pull in your resources and be more protectionist, be more
Well,
local. Yeah.
but I'm
Conservative.
that too. I just did this on Friday, actually. And I did it knowing that I'm going to do and cause the reaction. And the reaction was very much there, but I didn't react to that reaction. I was right. Split the check, please.
Hmm.
I did. And I'm doing it because I will never see you again, probably. But there's something inside of that moment where you can recognize the potential for connection or not.
Right. Yeah.
And if I am to connect with you, that means I'm actually gonna go below the mind, and there's a crack to enter and to become more than just the role. And when I can sense to enter, then we are no longer separated, meaning, like it would be, it becomes gentle, and it's
Hmm.
not, that's judgment about it is of completely dissolved. Like if I can enter into the space. That's why when you're intimate with someone, when you connect on a deeper level with someone, of course, it's like you even fight who's gonna pay, right? So it's like it doesn't. That is no longer an issue, an obstacle, but it's actually coming from here down and entering into someone who, seeing if you can actually connect to that person.
Hmm.
And that is, I think, becoming, uh, at least in my case, I am seeing that it's becoming harder to enter into someone's a space of being, or who, you know, um, I can call it vulnerability, being a little bit vulnerable. True to you. But yeah, and she took it offend, and she actually got offended by it. But I didn't mind it because I knew it. That moment was when I saw who she is. And because why would you
Yeah.
expect
Right.
me? I don't understand. I am equally as woman as you are. Why would you expect me to pay for your bill? It's
Hmm.
weird. It's really weird. But it's becoming very real, which makes transactional relationships more real in this life.
Hmm.
More fake, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's a performance component, and then Why are women feeling threatened? Because they feel like their performance is getting exposed. And what does that mean if who you thought you were as a woman is no longer has value in the marketplace of dating? And on the other side of that, you have to face yourself. So it's like, of course, this is the downstream effect of such uncertain times is we all kind of we lose the attachments that we've carried with us for this long, and we
Mm,
have to find something new.
mm.
Mm.
See, that opens up so many opportunities to do just this.
Yeah.
Because you're getting slammed by it, slap, slap, opportunity,
Hmm.
opportunity, opportunity. And it's all invitation, invitation, invitation to
Yeah.
become more aware of what's occurring, more aware of what's occurring. How,
Yeah.
it's hard not to like it when you really look at it as if you're looking at it from a different perspective. It's like I'm getting slammed by the opportunities and I keep missing them over and over again. It's like rather than thinking I'm safe in this world that has no future, trying really hard to get safe, I'm gonna be, oh, wait, but I'm safe because my opportunities are showing up themselves to me over and over again, and I'll have the next one coming. I just need to be more. It's
Hmm.
like you're
Hmm.
catching yourself. You're literally in a race to catch yourself when you can drop. For what? For a moment of
Hmm.
realness, realness inside of you. And I love how he closed it. That is the right moment, the moment when you need courage, a little courage, and you will penetrate the third, the deepest, infinite layer. And yes, there's other layers that he's talking about, but I really like how he wrote it. For the first time, you will be whole, unitary, one. There will be no fragments, no divisions. The mind with its divisions will disappear, and the being that is undivided, indivisible will appear for the first time. Moment. And all it takes is that moment.
Hmm.
And right after you're back to self, but with that moment of treasure, richer.
Awareness.
Click, switch.
Hmm. So I to me it's a gift. Initially, it's a gift, and then at some point,
A
it's
curse.
like, yeah,
Because you have to come back to this.
yeah, it's a curse because the revealing of your fragmentation is it's painful. It's like it's like when you go to the movie theater, you become so invested that you feel you're a part of the movie, and then you leave the movie theater.
Mhm.
You typically identify, at least for me, I would always identify with the protagonist and be like feeling heroic, my chest is a little more puffed out and I leave. And then this is like the revelation that you are each character in the entire movie, and all of it is false, and having to go back to something that doesn't have the thrill, it doesn't have the enticing quality to it. It is to approach it and to reach it. And maybe that's why it's harder to find vulnerability nowadays, because there's so much excitement externally. There's so much to get angry about. There's so much to get passionate about. There's so much to talk about. And none of it is real.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. What you and I have is very rare. I wish it for everybody, but I can't force it.
Agree. To have a good conversation. Really. You know, this weekend I'm going, I bought myself a gift because I celebrate birthdays all my life. I think they're very important.
Hmm.
And I celebrate my birthday. If nobody's there to celebrate with me, it doesn't stop me to celebrate it. So this weekend I'm gonna skip our talk. I'm going to a David White's workshop.
Mm.
And he's coming in a Monterey here, so I'm going to be driving, which will be a beautiful, lovely ride, 5 hour ride all the way up north. And one of the things, um, oh, I totally lost the track of the thought. Oh, one of the things that he really writes about is this poetic, artistic truth in which a poet, that's why it's really hard to write poetry, in which poet drops down into that which will never dare to say because it's so painful, right? And to experience so much pain in being human because it's human life is constant suffering. It's like you, and you really have to. He loves Rilke, and Rilke is very real on death and ending, which is why I
Mm-hmm.
think I tuned into their way of thinking because I also have the inkling into I'm inclined to think the same, to feel the same, because of course it all makes sense, natal chart and stuff. Okay, I get it, but um, it's a constant suffering. But in that suffering, that real gap of ending, there is the new beginning too. And when we are so tuned into the suffering, we're not seeing the opposition of it. And this dance between the poets that are dying, translating the the love, the Sufis, the divine, the divinity, the supreme, the one, is this constant going up there, touching it, and coming back into the suffering and trying to explain this to the ordinary men who are just so small in their
Mm.
mind, stuck fearful, meaning when you're so driven by your mind, you're so afraid to the unknown that you want to control every single step that you take, every single thing, and you think you can manifest your future for whatever reason, but it's all happening in the head. Nothing is felt. And when you enter into this world of feelings below your mind, you get to either experience so much suffering and have your dark nights of the soul, or you're to tap into the divinity and surrender fully to that which it is. And then you have to come back to this life and live it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to
Yeah.
find a meaning in that which has no meaning. You have to find the meaning in that which has no meaning here anymore. That's why poets are drunk all the time. Not only in love, we're not talking that drunk, but alcoholics, depressed, because it's hard. And that's the also a the Pisces nature too, because you're so there touching nonstop, operating from the totally different realm. And it's not easy to come back here to try to explain to people, to connect with people on that level, when in reality it's impossible. So you're living alone. You find the loneliness in that which you can no longer connect here.
Mm. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And yet
Mm-hmm.
we are who we are. That's exactly how we are. And we are here too, to just be that, unchanged, totally, just exactly what we are. No, don't change. Don't change a thing about yourself. And trust yourself only. You're really only alone with yourself if you really think about it. You're always
Mm-hmm.
alone in the world, but you're alone with yourself. And that's the most frightening part that we cannot face, is that I need to face me. And in me lives lots of parts of me that are good and bad.
Yeah. Mm.
Because I will come to this life alone. I will leave this life alone.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody to hold. I'm talking deep, deep inside. I'm not
Yeah.
talking hold my hand until I pass away, right? No, I'm not talking. That's why most of people pass away alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think this is so
There's,
beautiful.
yeah, it is.
Even talk about it invites this whisper.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Where did you go?
Yeah, there's I, I found myself ping-ponging between the dark and the light
Mm.
in the mind, and an attempt to describe or just listening to your words, just having the feeling of the suffering and the feeling of the loneliness and like the feeling of the attempt of the poet, really.
Mm.
The attempt to bridge. And I notice my mind really wants to attach to like some of this new science around quantum, fifth dimensional physics, and plasma, whatever you call it. But
Mhm.
I find it's funny because each person that I resonate with who talks about this stuff or even mentions it briefly, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna follow them because there's something to it. They wind up, and I don't think it's unintentional, but they wind up speaking very poetically about something that's traditionally scientific. And I think this is why the revelations of science have largely paused since, the mid 1900s. There hasn't been a whole lot of new discoveries. String theory has been a thing since like 1970, I think. It's been like the ruling quantum theory, but nothing's come of it. And there's been some commentary that it's actually what would you call it? A corporatized groupthink nothing burger. Like it's not there's nothing real behind it. It's largely made up and then accepted because that's how you get research funding,
Mhm.
and it
Mhm.
just pushes through, right? Because you have to continue. And so then the new science that I'm hearing from some of the people that are researching it is poetic.
Mm.
It can only be talked about. It can only be
Metaphoric.
touched, and yeah, metaphor, and it is directly tied in with emotions and feeling states and experiential, religious, or spiritual experiences. And it's it is the irony of the human experience as we this sensation I had when I was listening to the ping ponging between opposites and between the paradox and Pisces. I've seen a lot on this yesterday. The sign of Pisces
Mm.
is the center of the torus, the toroidal field, and we are our bodies are torus, but also the universe itself, black hole and star systems, how those interact, the center of the galaxy. So it's all just this attempt to reach out like a tree's branches reaching out into space and grabbing light, turning it into food, and then sending it into the roots. The energy is just constantly cycling and in the same sense.
Mm.
Whatever comes out that is new now can only be talked about. Words are limited. They're fragmented aspects of something that we're experiencing that's whole. And as a poet, we attempt to describe this sensation, this feeling of whole, or this depth, or this expansiveness, or, you know, um, but it's much like how we, as we awaken, become aware of who we are. We realize we're fragmented and we can return to the essence only through deeper awareness, contemplation. The same is true with whatever is external. And so this is why I've been saying for a while that we're entering a meaning crisis because not everybody's a poet. Let's just say that.
You just
Yeah.
made me stop when you stopped.
Mm.
And my heart
You.
just went like, so
I,
good.
I felt it. Yeah, I felt you do that. It was nice.
That's so cool. I love it. That's the presence, I think,
Mm.
at that moment. And we just witness each other. It's just so cool.
Hmm.
It's like, whoa, whoa. I want to cry. So good. I love when life touches like this.
Mm.
But I want to come back to the poetry because I really want to talk about this. Poets take sensations as entrance points. Exactly what OSHO is teaching. Make me feel something. Intrigue me, ignite me, make me feel something so I can enter into that which I cannot explain.
Mm.
And, you know, so um, I just ordered a novels, a couple of novels that are coming actually today. One of them was Anna Karenina, and the
Hmm.
other one was Bronte Sisters. Those are classics, right? So I had them in my mind for a very long time. I keep feeling not yet, not yet. So I just ordered them, and I ordered in the books in which you're going to cry. I want a book that will make me cry. I'm desiring
Mm.
to be touched by the story so much that I am raptured inside, in
Mm.
which then I can feel me. I can feel my processing, right? And it's interesting because in the moment when the Saturn and Neptune moved to Aries, this is 13 years of my naturalness, and I'm talking Piscean, right? Which I found really interesting. I have not read a novel all my life. I have not
Hmm.
read a novel. I cannot read a novel. I cannot enter into the imaginary world when Neptune in Pisces already made it for me very real. So all my books here were very non-fictional, meaning they're
Yeah.
real. Someone said them, someone experienced them. They're almost esoterically factuals, right? So this. There are points that I can. My entire brain is actually thinking just that. Okay, that's that points connected story. Moment he moved away from Pisces, both of them, especially Neptune, I'm having this massive desire to read fiction and remain uh, in total irrationality, in not reality, in something that it's imaginary.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, I am actually, desire is to stay there in imagination. I'm just now playing with the opposing forces. When it was too much, I went to dots. When now it's all dotty and logical, I'm going back into the imagination. So I ordered a few of them actually to read them
Hmm.
because I'm craving this feeling, make me feel. I want the opportunity to feel, not to know.
Yeah. I just ordered 4 books, fiction.
What? Fiction?
Yeah.
What? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
The Three Body Problem series. So I'm more into like sci-fi,
Oh,
fantasy, future.
oh,
Um,
I'm very emo. Uh-huh.
yeah.
Nice. How
And
funny.
then
How funny.
yeah, book 2 from a culture series. And in reflecting on that, I'm like, man, I used to read only fantasy fiction or just fiction. Um, and then 13 years. Yeah, that checks out. Yeah. right after college, I started doing all the nonfiction and self-help and all that stuff.
Crazy,
And si
right?
yeah, and since February, since the start of February, I was like, I don't, I'm not gonna read that. I picked up a fiction
That's why
novel.
you said the religious book that I'm reading or whatever, Gnosis. You're like, I'm not, it's not calling me.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I am reading that now, and he recounts so much of his astral experiences that it feels like fantasy. He's like, oh, I visited Rasputin in a cellar, and he had 100. There's 100 people, and I knew they were all Rasputin, and he describes like um yeah, these events of like exorcism and how it's just fragmented ego, and he just it feels very fantastical in that way. It's not like do this and here's the rule set and here's the yeah, it's much more story based and doesn't feel real in a way, but yeah.
Hmm. How weird, right? Do you find it weird that now suddenly you want to continue in the imagination of nature, where my nature is guiding me is to continue.
Yeah. I'm excited because I'm like there's something you can get from fiction, at least for me. There's something that comes from fiction that just and of course it's from the lens of we're in a new age. So it's like that's why I'm describing it this way. That nonfiction just doesn't have the depth. It doesn't reach it can't reach as far. And but like
Hmm.
when someone is imagining a world and
Hmm.
characters and it's like it's so much more rich. There's like
Hmm.
yeah.
Totally. Wow. Wow. Any
Thank
last
you.
thoughts?
Just thank you.
Thank you. See you next Wednesday.
See you then. Bye bye.
Ciao.